the 6th, 2016. Called the meeting to order. And as always, we start off our meeting with the municipal safety share. And as our Councillor Lake is a teacher, we'd like to have him give us an overview of the safety tips for this week's council meeting.
So this is the happiest day in a parent's life. The first day of school. Louise is shaking her head. Lots of parents are excited to have some time back to themselves. But of course, with the kids going back to school, there are some safety things we should be thinking about. For parents, caregivers, and the children, buses are out, as Mr. Creswell would say, on the highways and byways. So we need to be careful about at intersections in particular. For your child, make sure if they're going to ride their bike to school, especially in our nice weather, that they're wearing a helmet. And if you're teaching your kids how to ride safely, make sure they walk their bikes across intersections. When crossing intersections without crossing guards, which is what we have here in Marathon, make sure that you teach your kids to stop before stepping onto the road. Increase your visibility. Give your kid a bright color jacket, always helps. Look in all directions before crossing. Stop, look, and listen for traffic. Cross safely when the road is clear. Walk, don't run. And where possible, use the buddy system. And I would say for the drivers, all of those rules go out the window when kids are really excited and trying to get to school. So the onus is on you as the driver to make sure you're obeying speed limits, make sure you're watching at crossings. We all know where kids cross in town. And just for the next while, certainly be extra careful as we drive around the community.
Good. Thanks for that, Councillor Lake. I just want to make a comment to the viewers at home. I had a couple concerns raised to us. We've already aware of the program, the council meeting, that the voice is a bit delayed. So if you're looking at us at home and you're seeing us talk, we're probably a 2-second or second delay. We're working on that, and it's just one of those kind of technical things that we have to work through with the microphones and the computer system as we went to a new system this year. So just bear with us. We'll get it all figured out, and we'll have that, so there won't be no delay in regards to that voice and sound issue. Okay, any additions, deletions to the agenda this evening?
Yes, Your Worship, we have the deletion of the delegation that was scheduled. They're going to be rescheduled to the 26th meeting. Okay, so
5A will be rescheduled to the council's 26th September. Okay. Anything else? Just Councillor Lake will give us an update on the student councillor program. Okay. 7A. Other than that, okay. Any additions? Oh, sorry, I got a motion here that council hereby accepts the attached agenda for Tuesday, September 6, 2006, regular meeting of council, as circulated and amended. Moved by Councillor Zingra, second by Councillor Lake. Any questions? Hearing none, call question, all in favor. Carried. Thank you. Any conflicts of interest? Hearing none. I have a motion here that is in regards to the previous minutes of council that were held on Monday, August 22nd, 2016, as circulated amended. Moved by Councillor Fox, second by Councillor Lake. Any questions on those minutes? Hearing none, call a question, all in favor. Carried, thank you. Okay, so right down to verbal update on AMO. We didn't, myself and our CEO, Daryl Skroczynski, attended AMO conference this year in August 14th in Windsor, which was very hot and muggy, but it was a very good session for the 3 days we were there. We didn't have a chance to, I didn't have a chance to do the verbal on August 22nd. I was here, so just want to take the opportunity to give you a quick overview of some of the things we discussed at the AMO conference and in Windsor. Great. We met with the opportunity to meet with Minister Sorelli, and as you know, we've initiated a study with the 5 municipalities throughout the Northwest region, Terrace Bay, Schreiber, Marathon, Manitouwadge, and Wawa. We had an opportunity to meet with Minister Sorelli, give him an overview of the paper we had done up in regards to this project. This was very exciting time. Minister Sorelli looked at the presentation and was very keen on this, and our group through Daryl as the lead on this is moving this project forward with Northeast Midstream. So it's very exciting. Will be more details out to the public in the near future in regards to where that study is and the opportunities that could be benefiting our community as well as the region. Then we had an opportunity to meet with Chris Ballard from the Ministry of Housing. Chris was listening to the concerns of Marathon, obviously, on our supportive housing complex that we identified in the 18 units. And the fact that we're going to be meeting with a private partner maybe sometime this month to discuss opportunities to fund that project, but we still wanted the government to be fully aware that we need their full support through the DSAB and, of course, the LINs, having them on site to make sure that not only the operation of the development and capital costs are covered, but whether they're working with a private partnership or the government, as well as the LINs being on site for future operational costs. So that meeting went very well. He's very keen. And of course, we have good relationships with the municipal affairs housing staff. Daryl has a good relationship with Lynn, and so it's really good, and she works well with us, and she helps us move this project forward. So it's on the right track. Of course, we had the opportunity to meet with Minister Gravel, and we talked about those two very matters, both the LNG, liquefied natural gas, as well as the supportive housing complex. He's still on our side 100% as our member, as well as the minister, and he has the opportunity to sit at the cabinet table and discuss those very issues with the other ministers. Also had a good discussion around the mill site and the progress to date, what was happening there. Obviously, as you know, we're all frustrated in the timelines, 7 years, but the reality is we're one of the fewer communities within our region that has this facility almost cleaned up and gone. So there are other communities within our Northwest region that still have mill properties on their sites, so there's no opportunity for development. So we're excited that we will have opportunities over the next little while with those mill sites to redevelop for opportunities for economic impact to our community. Then, of course, a very big discussion around impact evaluations around the gold properties throughout northwestern Ontario, throughout Ontario, period. So we had a good discussion with Minister Gravel on that, and talked about how we can move forward, because the valuations are now, as you know, just like at a homeowner, they're set for 4 years for that process. And then, of course, we also met with Vaughn Baker, the parliamentary assistant for the Minister of Finance, to discuss that very issue, and he was very keen on understanding the process. Vaughn was very new to the minister's office, so he didn't really was up to speed, but he took our concerns very closely, and he will respond to them in regards to our working relationship with Impact. So Daryl's been working very close with Impact. I've had many discussions with them. They understand our concerns, and they're working with the paper we just submitted to them in regards to what we believe the evaluation should be. And of course, we had an opportunity to meet with Impact also. Then we met with Impact and talked to them about the very concerns we had, and they assured us they will continue to work on the file. We also had the opportunity to meet with Minister Glenn Thibeault, who's the new Minister of Energy. Very exciting. Glenn very fully understands northwestern Ontario, as Glenn is from Sudbury, and he understands the concerns we have, and our concerns were obviously around the LNG project and the high cost of hydro for all of us. So he was keen, listened to us, listened to our concerns, and took those into consideration. Hopefully will work with us closely on those issues. I had the opportunity also to sit down with NOMA. NOMA had a multiple of items on the agenda for both the PC caucus with Patrick Brown, also his members, Andrea Horvath with the NDP and her members, as well as the ministry representatives and the ministers from the Liberal government. The Premier wasn't able to attend, but we did have 7 ministers at the table, so it was very good. Talked a lot about climate change opportunities and challenges. Throughout the Northwest, we have opportunities, and we consider trees are the answer. That was our big sell in regards to, we need to harvest trees because trees are the ones who sequester carbon, and they also take the opportunity to create economic benefits. So they get it, just we have to convince all the other people that are pushing the government from the other factors, which the Sierra Clubs and the NGOs and the Greenpeace groups that are saying that you got to save trees. Well, trees live and die, and when in the process becomes a point that they don't benefit the forest and they don't benefit the air. So you have to harvest them and plant new ones. So that was really good, and that was good information that we brought to them. Infrastructure to support Northern Ontario, the connecting links, and our biggest thing is through the Northern Growth Plan, the 25-year plan, the connecting links is big about the roads to the First Nations communities, and the energy corridor. And without the roads and the all-weather roads and the energy corridor going through our northern part of our province, we're not going to have economic development, and we're not going to have a future for not only the Northwest in regards to the communities, and the Northwest and the First Nation communities will benefit greatly off this. So we'll all benefit if we have the opportunity to invest in those infrastructure links. This was a big presentation, excuse me. And then I talked a bit about in that was my presentation in regards to connecting links, and One I hit home on that was directly impacted us over the last couple of years was the intercity bus service and the routes and the reduction of those services. The government's very clearly understands that and is working on that opportunities to address those concerns. There are other parts of the province that do help fund and subsidize bus service, so that's all we're asking for is look at the Northwest so that there's an opportunity to have 2 buses a day rather than 1, so that people can get to and from medical or just family visits, just getting away, whatever, right? There was a lot on that portfolio, the marine, the rail, the air, Marathon with a non-certified airport, with the registered airport, we're still, a very big part of our community and travel is air. We don't use it a lot, but the Medivac, the charter flights, the helicopters in and out, so. And of course, financial issues, we talked about the railway taxation that we all know has been on the agenda for about a year and a half. They are working on it, believe it or not. They actually made a presentation at one of the impact sessions about the taxation of railways, so they understand it. So they're working on it, and hopefully we'll have an answer for us by the end of this year on that regards. The partnership fund, the Ontario Missile Partnership Fund, as you know, over the next many years, Marathon is going to be losing a substantial amount of money. It doesn't sound like much, but in our books, it's a lot of money. We're going to be going down to probably, if we start off at 13 at 2.2 million, by the time we end it this year, we'll be at 2,070,000. So that's that's a $200,000 reduction. It's about 3%, 3 to 4% each and every year, and it continues to go that way. But they're saying that it's going to freeze at $505 million in 17. So we shouldn't see any reductions after that. Well, there's going to be an election in 18, so we'll see what happens. The Ontario Northern School of Medicine, that was a big discussion around they want to become their own campus. Sudbury and Thunder Bay, so there was around funding those models. Infrastructure, of course, we need money. We wanted that. And the OSIF funding, the OSIF funding was identified, and we know we will see monies coming to Marathon for that. Those are good guaranteed dollars that will help us offset our capital improvements. We can go borrow money against those millions of dollars that we will have over the many next 20 years or so. Well, at least till 19 or 20 anyway. I shouldn't get too far ahead of myself. But those are monies we can combine with the gas tax, federal gas tax, and incorporate them as a part of a loan payback. And then, of course, some big part of the discussion was around the development of the Ring of Fire, and that all came back to the forestry, the roads, the energy, and the and multimodal system. So that was why we left to the end, because it is a big part of the economic growth and the engine of Northwestern Ontario. So they assured us that they still having discussions. We no sooner got home, and there was an announcement that they were going to restudy the study. So. And we still haven't got an answer in that regard. NOMA's been working trying to get the report. The report is not a public document. It was created by First Nation communities of Northwestern Ontario, so we still haven't seen that report. And as soon as we do, we'll try to share with everybody, but that report is still not available, and that's what the answer was. We're going to restudy the study. That was about it. Daryl, do you want to have any highlights you wanted to add to that?
No, you did a tremendous job of summarizing the conference. I think the one project that stands out for me at the conference was certainly the LNG project and the coordination amongst the 5 municipalities and making the delegations. And I think what really caught the interest of all of the ministers that we met with regarding that project is it's not only a solution for the North Shore communities of Lake Superior, it's a solution for access to rural or northern natural gas for communities that won't be serviced by a lateral pipeline. Mm-hmm. Right, and I think that was a big selling feature of our project and why we do have such traction with it. We have had literally follow-ups every week with each of the ministers' offices and their policy people. They do want to work with us to look at how this can become an Ontario solution, not just a North Shore solution. So cool. A lot of great takeaway on those presentations for that particular project.
And just quickly, so I think we all discussed in the past that there is a $200 million program that the government announced. It's a loan guarantee program that will help offset these costs of these projects. It's no grant money, it's no free money, but another part of that program was $30 million of grant monies that would help. Maybe if we're successful and the LNG was a project that was viable in our area, that they could encourage more people to get on, because I think the report showed the percentage of each community would jump on the board right away. But if there was an individual homeowner that had electric baseboard and there was a government incentive for a $1,500 rebate on a conversion, would you do it? You more likely would. So that's the kind of the $30 million grant money that they would like to tap into if that's successful in that regard, right? That was a good little discussion around that, because that would encourage more people to convert over to a cheaper form of energy, because we all know what's a big cost for our energy, our homes are energy right now, right? So good. That was it, Daryl?
That's good.
Good, thank you. Councillor Lake will do a quick overview on the student councillor situation.
Sure. So both of our student counselors from last year are gone this year. Nicole Wisnik is doing a year in France. So she's off in southern France for the year, which is pretty darn cool. And Sam Stone graduated high school and he's gone off to university. So we have the 2 vacancies. School is on tomorrow, so we'll post on the announcements. I've already had a couple students say they're interested. And it sounds like we'll try to have a decision to Louise by the end of September and a swearing in for that first meeting in October. Kind of aiming that.
Okay, good.
And it sounded like, and certainly you know more about this than I do, that the program has kind of moved to some other communities.
Absolutely. We just discussed at our last Thunder Bay District Municipal Board meeting, and there was already now Greenstone's on board with. They have student council as well as Terrace Bay. So Marathon, Terrace Bay, Greenstone, and there were other communities that were really interested. So Louise sent out all the information of kind of how the program works, and I think they'll all jump on board hopefully over the next couple of years. Just getting the kids involved in your community aspect and getting to understand what they do, right, and how their world operates. So
I think that's an exciting part of that program, and council and administration should be commended because it's certainly starting to spread now, and that's very cool.
good, right on. Thank you. We look forward to having our new student councillors at the end of September, early October. Thanks for that, Councillor Lake. Okay, number 8, CO reports report on Ontario 150 application. Daryl.
All right, thank you. In 2017, Canada will celebrate its 150th anniversary. And as a founding province, Ontario is joining the celebration with new funding events and programs. Municipalities, community groups, and not-for-profit organizations can apply for funding that would create social and cultural legacies through initiatives that support celebration, engagement, and innovation in Ontario. This particular program will help municipalities and communities improve existing infrastructure through repairs, renovations, or retrofitting. Some of the eligible project areas include multicultural centers, playgrounds, and sports facilities. The province is providing a total of $25 million in funding through the Community Capital Program, and there are 2 funding streams available through the program. Grants of up to $250,000 are available for organizations with a total operating budget of less than $1 million for 75% of total project costs. And for us, grants of up to $500,000 are available for organizations with a total operating budget of $1 million or more for 50% of total project costs. The Ontario 150 Community Capital Program is being administered by the Ontario Trillium Foundation, and applications will be accepted until September the 14th of this year. The discussion is that administration has identified that the enhancement of the current youth skate park would be an eligible project under this program. On Monday, March 14th of 2016, a group of local youth made a delegation to council stating their desire to enhance the skate park. Some of the reasons they stated included the current park is too small, the current park doesn't have enough obstacles, and at times, because of its size, the park is crowded when there are a large number of users. Some of the benefits of enhancing the skate park included promoting exercise and using energy creatively, providing a positive space for young people, creating a more vibrant community, combating street crime and antisocial behavior, and creating a culture based on respect. The enhancement of the skate park has been identified as a facility enhancement project in the town's current corporate strategic plan. Financial implications are that the municipality is required to provide 50% of total project costs. The total cost to enhance the skate park is estimated at $75,000 based on the delegation made to council as well as research of the proposed enhancements. Therefore, the municipality's contribution would be $37,500. This would be budgeted for in 2017, and all projects need to be completed by March 31st, 2018. Your options are 1, support the submission to the Community Capital Program to enhance the skate park, 2, identify an alternative project, or 3, do not submit at this time. Your administration recommends that option A be approved and that a funding application to the Ontario 150 Community Capital Program to support enhancing the skate park be submitted. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that report. I do have a motion here that council hereby accepts the attached report and recommendation on the Ontario 150 Community Capital Program, and further that funding for the application for the Ontario 150 Community Capital Program be submitted to support enhancing of the youth skate park in Marathon. Moved by Councillor Fox, second by Councillor Lake. Questions? Councillor Lake, any? No?
Just
Councillor Fox?
Just a brief one. That park is being used by a lot of children. Anytime I drive by it, unless it's nasty weather, there's kids all over that. So enhancing it, I think it's a great idea.
Councillor Lake?
And as if we're successful, we'll obviously have some students participating in the design. That might be a nice role for the student counselors from this particular year to sit and maybe try running a bit of a committee session with some of the youth.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, so certainly, you know, one of the costs we've built into the total of $75,000 is not only the capital construction of the required elements, but is also some professional experience and expertise in this area to facilitate that with our local youth, so that ultimately it's you know, the youth providing, you know, what should be there, and it's not adults telling them, you know, what should be there.
That's right. And then last park development now is all done by the kids' ideas, right? So, I mean, so it worked well last time, and we can only enhance it more, so that's good, that's exciting. Hopefully we're successful getting this 37.5 for them, the Ontario grant. Okay, all in favor? Good, carried, thank you. Thanks for that. Okay, up next we have a report on Omer's retirement age for firemen. Coppedale members, good evening, Chuck.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Bylaw number 250 was passed in June 1971. The normal retirement age, or the NRA, was 65 years old. Employees who were engaged as policemen and firemen were entitled to retire at the age of 60. Persons employed in the class of fire management have been enrolled in the Ontario Municipal Employees Retirement System, or OMERS, with a natural retirement age of 65. The absence of an explicit age of 65 enrollment provision in respect to prior years could leave the town of Marathon open to possible risks if affected employees enrolled in the past come forward questioning their retirement age. OMERS has initiated an awareness campaign to address this ambiguity. They recommend that a bylaw be passed confirming that the normal retirement age for employees in the fire management class, that is the fire chief, is 65 years. A lower retirement age requires a higher pension premium. Any retroactive payments could depend on the employee's wage and years of service. The options are to accept bylaw 1880, acknowledging that the employees in the fire management class have a normal retirement age of 65 years, or do not amend bylaw 250 and risk that the employees in the fire management class be deemed to have a normal retirement age of 60. Administration recommends that option A be accepted so that the employees in the fire management class have a normal retirement age of 65 years.
Thanks for the report. The council hereby accepts the attached report and recommendation on OMERS, normal retirement age for firemen, and further that the appropriate bylaw be adopted acknowledging that the employees in the fire management class have a normal retirement age of 65 years. Moved by Councillor Gingras, second by Councillor Fox. Questions? Councillor Fox.
This is strictly for our full-time employee.
Yes.
Okay. Can the part-time fire people belong to that?
No,
Okay.
because they're not employed. They're volunteers.
Volunteered.
Oh, yeah, good point. All right.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, it sounds
Pretty well, just straightforward housekeeping.
housekeeping.
Thank you much. All in favor? Carried. Thank you.
That bylaw was older than me.
1971, you were born when? After that, obviously, right? Okay, report on 2016 budget revised. Coppedale members. Chuck.
The 2016 budget was approved on April 25th with the addition of $15,000 to the annual support to the public library. At that time, the public education levy was only an estimate. This report is a matter of housekeeping to ensure that the tax revenue budget is accurate. There are 3 changes to Schedule A of the budget bylaw. First, increasing the operating budget by $15,000 results in higher municipal tax rates. Therefore, Marathon Pulp Inc.'s bad debt has increased $1,137 to negate the higher rates. The second one is to reflect the $15,000 in the recreation section for the library. And finally, funds to be forwarded to the school boards through the education levy has been decreased by $9,500. The options are approved. The amended 2016 operating and capital budget is presented. That's the only option. So we're recommending that option A be approved, and that bylaw 1881, amending bylaw 1871 for the 2016 budget be approved as presented.
Thank you for that. I do have a motion here that council hereby accepts attached report and recommendation on 2016 budget revised, and further that the appropriate bylaw be adopted amending the 2016 operating budget and capital budgets as outlined in this report later this evening. Moved by Councillor Fox, second by Councillor Ingram. Any questions? I have one, if you don't mind. In regards to the Mills property, and you know, you have to continue reflecting that bad debt. When does that bad debt have to stop being reflective?
When or council can decide to write off the debt
Okay,
at any time.
so we can have the discussion for 2017 in regards to the budget year and all that.
My fingers are crossed that MPAC will get the file finished this year.
Okay.
Where a majority of the properties will be transferred into the town's name.
Okay.
And then a lot of that tax will be written off and we
Right.
will not have to.
Continue carrying it forward, because it seems like a lot of work, and you have to reflect it every time you make an amendment or change or revision to any type of the budgets, capital or operating.
Correct.
Okay. So with that being said, I'll call a question. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Thanks for that, Chuck. Okay, report on 2016 tax ratios. Chuck?
So this is the second one of the three budget ones, so
Yeah.
knock them off. Section 308 of the Municipal Act requires single-tiered municipalities to pass a bylaw each year to establish the tax ratios. In accordance with Section 313, tax reductions are established for the property subclass for vacant and excess lands in the commercial and industrial classes. Tax ratios establish the relative tax burden for each property class. Council has the authority to adopt alternative ratios as long as they fall within the provincial range of fairness, which ranges for the multi-res from 1.0 to 1.1 and all other classes from 0.6 to 1.1. Since our ratios fall outside the ranges of fairness, we can only move closer toward these ranges. Council could maintain the current ratios as set in 2015 by bylaw 1860, where the commercial ratio is 1.25, shopping center is also 1.25, the industrial and large industrial classes would be 2.25. There has been no changes to these ratios since 2016. A third option is utilizing revenue-neutral transaction ratios to mitigate reassessment related to tax shifts between the classes in accordance with the regulated calculation. Our tax consultant, Municipal Tax Equity, cautions the municipality as follows. Where class-neutral transaction ratios are being considered to shift taxes onto one or more of the business classes, the municipality must be particularly cognizant of the potential for increasing its financial exposure related to assessment appeals, vacancy rebates, and other tax erosion forces. While the increased business class ratios could be a means of reducing the residential tax burden at the time of the annual tax rate calculation, they also have a multiplying effect on any future tax write-offs for those classes. The costs associated with the retroactive assessment and tax reductions will ultimately be carried by the remainder of the tax base. Using the 2016 tax rolls as presented in November 2015, the operative program has calculated the revenue neutrals as shown in the attached appendix. The town of Marathon and Berwick are also in discussions on how to reduce taxes on the Williams operating mine. Increasing Berwick's 2016 taxes based on the revenue neutral ratio could result in having a larger write-off later on in the year should a reduction in assessment be granted. Another consideration is the effect of the tax ratios on future economic development. Any potential business looking at investing in the town of Marathon will be analyzing the municipal property tax environment. A high tax ratio could be viewed as a negative aspect. The unchanged tax ratios will leave any shift in the tax burden between the classes strictly assessment related. Increase in the tax ratios to the revenue neutral ratios will expose the revenue to a higher risk of tax write-offs. So the options are to maintain the existing ratios or shift the ratios to be revenue neutral. Administration is recommending that option A be selected, maintaining the ratios as detailed in bylaw 1882.
Good, thanks for that, Chuck. Just one correction in regards to the note, there has been no change in these ratios since 2006. You had just mentioned 2016, just for the listener at
sorry.
home. And, yeah, council, I just need a motion here that get put on the floor for a question. That council hereby accepts the attached report and regulation 2016 tax ratios and further that the appropriate bylaw be adopted later, so you maintain those ratios detailed in this report. Councilor Lake, second by Councilor Zingra. Any questions? Councillor Lake?
Certainly I understand your point about kind of that danger of if we shift the tax to somebody and there's a reassessment, the money comes back. My feeling is always that the way out of the conundrum we have, not just in Marathon and Northwestern Ontario, is to grow the economy. We need to have more businesses coming our way so that the tax base gets taken off residents into that space. And we're not going to do it by scaring off businesses with kind of exorbitant tax rates. So I kind of hear that argument that it's a quick fix maybe to go revenue neutral, but I really do feel like the existing assessment, which is what MPAC's going to go with anyway, puts us long-term in a safer position, and we just continue to diligently work to try to make that space down by the mill have businesses that are going to add to that class. That's the way out of the problem. The way out of the problem isn't waving the accountant at it. It's actually getting businesses in town.
Anything else? I mean, you made it very clear, since 2006, we haven't touched ratios, so I think the ratios are fair and equitable at this time. It's not affecting any specific group, and you raise, Councilor Lake's absolutely right. We want to continue to grow our economy rather than worry about changing ratios in regards to different classes, so that's good. I'll call the question. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. And up next, report on 2016 final levy of taxes, which nobody likes to hear, but we always like to listen to the report. Thank you, Chuck.
Earlier this evening, the 2016 budget was approved and bylaw 1881 was passed. Schedule A details how much was to be levied for each purpose: the general municipal, capital, and education. A bylaw is required specifying the tax rates by property class. The rates are attached as Schedule A. The options are to approve the final levy for 2016 as presented or approve them with amendments. Administration recommends that option A be approved and that the bylaw 1884 adopting the 2016 final levy of taxes be approved as presented.
Okay, thank you. I do have a motion. Council hereby accepts the tax report and recommendation of 2016 final levy of taxes, and further that appropriate bylaw be adopted later this evening in regards to 2016 final levy of taxes. Moved by Councilors Fox, Councilor Lake. Seconded. Any questions of that report? Hearing none, call question. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Thank you very much, Chair. Okay, up next we have bylaws. There's nothing under appointment of members of boards. Bylaws up next. I have a bylaw here, bylaw number 1880 being a bylaw to amend bylaw number 250 being a bylaw to authorize the participation in the Ontario Municipal Employees Retirement System. Be read at first second time the 6th day of September 2016. Moved by Councilor Zingrach, second by Councilor Lake. Any questions of that bylaw? Hearing none, I call a question. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, bylaw number 1881 being a bylaw to amend bylaw number 1871, being a bylaw to adopt the estimates and sums required during the year 2016, be read a first and second time the 6th day of September 2016. Moved by Councillor Fox, second by Councillor Gingra. Any questions of that bylaw? Hearing none, call question. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, bylaw number 1882, being a bylaw to set tax ratios and confirm property classes and set tax rate reductions for prescribed property subclasses for the town of Marathon for 2016 taxation year, be read a first and second time the 6th day of September 2016. And as you just heard, all the ratios were read out, so I'm going to need a mover and a second to put that on the floor. Moved by Councillor Fox, second by Councillor Ingram. Any questions of that budget report on the bylaws? Hearing none, call a question. All in favor? Carried. Thank you much. And finally, that bylaw number 1884 being a bylaw to adopt the final levy of taxes for 2016 and for the collection of the said taxes to be read first, second time the 6th day of September 2016. Need a mover and a seconder for that. Councillor Lake, second by Councillor Zingra. Any questions of that bylaw? I have one. When do the homeowners expect to see their final tax levy in the mail? Usually October?
First week in October, due at the end of October.
So your final tax levy will be out in the mail first week in October and due by the end of October. So we encourage you to come on in and get your tax cleared up before there's any interest and penalty charges. on those taxes. Thank you. I need to call a question. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. And of course, bylaw number 1880, 1881, 1882, and 1884 be read a third time and finally passed the 6th day of September 2016. And I need a mover and a second for that. Councillor Lake, seconded by Councillor Ingra. Any questions of any of those bylaws? Hearing none, call a question. All in favor? Carried. Thank you much. Okay, unfinished business, request from Thunder Bay District Social Services Board. Was there a report on that, Daryl, or just to actually read the motion?
Yeah, there's no report, Your Worship, but I do have a follow-up from the DSAB with respect to Councillor DeBouche's
Okay,
questions.
I'll let you read that once we open up the motion. Okay, so council hereby supports the resolution received from the Thunder Bay District Social Services Board pertaining to the Community Social Reinvestment Program and continuation of this program for 2000, up to and for 2018. And further, that a copy of this motion be forwarded to the individual listed on the originating resolution. Moved by Councilor Lake, seconded by Councilor Jingra. Okay, before we call the question, yeah, Daryl, you want to give us a quick highlight on that question?
Yeah, so we received a request from the DSAB dated July 20th of 2016, looking for council to pass a motion supporting the Community Social Reinvestment Fund, really the continuation of the program for 2018, which requires a double majority under DSAB's legislation. And the last council meeting, Councillor DeBouche raised two questions, which I did follow up with the DSAB. The first question was, is this program one that was traditionally funded by the province and now has it been downloaded onto the DSAB, which ultimately is downloaded onto the municipalities? And the response from the DSAB is, no, it's not a situation of downloading. It's a situation where a program existed and was discontinued as it was no longer mandated. That stated is a valuable program that supports community-based programs that in most cases are volunteer-run and provide supports in the area of nutrition, recreation, etc., looking to reduce the impact of child poverty. The DSAB board determined it was an important program to continue, and it was reformed and became the Community Social Reinvestment Program. It is an application-based fund, and it annually receives applications from all communities that the DSAB represents, including Marathon. Second question from Councillor DeBouche was, has Marathon traditionally accessed the program, and if we have, how have we done that? So certainly there are examples of Marathon accessing the programs. Some of the more recent ones, 2016, the Marathon Community Collective for $7,000 for food, inexpensive clothing, and limited emergency funding. Marathon High School in 2016 for $16,000 for a healthy breakfast and lunch program. 2015 Marathon Community Collective for $8,000. 2015 Marathon High School for a total of $17,000 for the healthy breakfast program and an after-school help session. And additionally, in 2014, the Marathon Food Bank also received $14,000 from the program. So the short answer to the question was yes, Marathon has accessed this program and continues to access this program under the DSAB.
Councilor Lake?
And what would our portion of the funding be? So those are the numbers that are coming back into the community. What would our outlay be?
Yeah, I'll have to ask Mr. Verbo to come up. I'm not sure, is there anything additionally that we put in with this request, or is it from our initial levy?
I'm just going to ask Chuck to come down so we can hear him at home.
DSAB will, they levy each community based on their weighted assessment of all their property and their population. So what they'll do is this additional funding, they'll split it up between all the communities in the District of Thunder Bay. And we don't know yet on how much that'll be. I think, don't quote me right now, I think our percentage is less than 10%.
Yeah, so
The majority of it is the city of Thunder Bay.
yeah, if you're looking at it, it says amount to be levied within the region, and 2018, up to 2017, there's going to continue use of funding that's already there from the Ontario Municipal Partnership Fund, as well as the reserves. $100,000 in 2018 and 118,000 in 19. In future years, it will increase slowly. So
here-
$100,000 in 18,
So $10,000
split
would be our
amongst all the
portion.
municipalities, roughly.
Okay, and we're getting, it sounds like, what, $25,000 a year back? in programming. That's pretty.
And I think as we will see this in 18, once this program actually hits the requirement that we will support it today, this could come back on the agenda for DSAB to revisit the program and see where it's at in 2019 in the future, because as you look, it could go up a lot higher than 118 grand in 2019. So I think at that time, whoever is council and DSAB rep, because we will have the DSAB back in 19 to look at that and see whether that's a program that's continually benefiting all the region for the amount of dollars being put in, not just for Marathon, but now to be required from all of us to be contributing more money for all those various programs. So we're good for till at least 18 and 19 with very little impact to our budget. Okay? Okay, with that being said, Councillor Lake, Councillor Zingle, I'll call a question. All in favor? Thank you. Okay, up next I have a motion here that council hereby proclaim the month of September as Arthritis Awareness Month in and for the town of Marathon, and further that a copy of the proclamation be placed on the town's website and Facebook pages. And of course, as always, they're just regular proclamation. This was derived locally, so we'll definitely support, we mostly support these things. Just a matter of posting it. Any mover or seconder for that? Moved by Councillor Fox, second by Councillor Zingle. Any questions? Okay, all in favor? Carried, thank you, Mike. Okay. Under the second quarter bid approval has been received for council information. Huh? What is that, Darryl?
So every quarter, we provide council with our procurement.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So that's included
Sure.
in your package if there are
Sure.
any questions with
Yeah.
respect to
Yeah,
any of our
so-
recent purchases. as
Just
per
do,
the
yeah,
budget.
no, just do a second quarter bid, yeah, no, the stuff that we already approved through budget.
Correct.
Okay, so I have a quick couple of announcements here before we do adjourn the meeting. Of course, Porthole Pool, the program was put out last Saturday, and the program all started as of today. The new schedule kicks in, the pool is back up and running, all the maintenance was done. If you have any concerns, contact the Recreation Department at 229-9943. Family Swim, new to the Porthole, mornings, family swims, that's all part of the schedule. That schedule is available at the Recreation Complex as well as on our website. Marathon Arena, regular ice season starts as well on the 6th, and minor hockey is in full swing already, and everything's going well there. Swim lessons are all started up. Well, they will be starting at the mid-September 19th. So there's opportunity to sign up and get information there at the Parks and Rec Department as well. Aqua fitness classes. There's a schedule change just a bit, but there's been added fitness classes, so you can also contact the Marathon Parks and Recreation Department. Watering restrictions, as you know, Marathon has a bylaw in place for the watering restrictions. We'd encourage all residents to follow that restriction with the odd and even days, AM and PM. So that's early morning, 6 to 9, and evening, 6 to 9. And as you know, we talked about this many times in the past, this has been looked at through a horticulturist and talks about the best time to water your lawn. So watering your lawn in the middle of the afternoon when the sun's shining is not a good time anyway. So take awareness of that and water your lawns appropriately. Garbage reminder, the activity has increased now with the bears around the community. As you know, that's a concern to all of us. And the protocol there is to call 911 if you feel threatened by any means by a bear in your yard. But obviously take care. Put the garbage away. Keep it in the garage or shed. Keep it covered. Keep the lid on. Don't put the garbage out the night before on the road. Put the garbage out the morning of pickup. And you shouldn't have any problems within your neighborhood or your area. But if you do, please call 911 and report that. Or bear-wise, if it's a non-threatening situation where you're just seeing the bear wandering up through the back alley, or I think there's been multiple calls at the golf course in the last week or so. Bears, so that's they called Bearwise. M&R comes in, puts the trap up, and if there's a threat, though, the police will respond through 911. And the fall recruiting drive for the Marathon Emergency Services Department, of course, always looking for volunteers. If you're interested in volunteering to be a local firefighter in Marathon, it's men and women, 18 years of age or older, and of course the Marathon Fire Department also has a youth program where it's a firefighters cadet program from the age of 16 to 18, so you can contact Marathon Fire Department or call the town here, Fire Chief Rick Kirster, at 229-1340, extension 2227, and I'm sure that's on our webpage as well. So if you're interested, please contact the appropriate individuals. So prior to adjournment, we will be going to in-camera to discuss a proposed pending acquisition, disposition of land, and labor relations employee negotiations right after this public session of council. So have a good evening, and I'll call this meeting to end at the hour of 8:45. I need a mover and a seconder to...
7:45 you're working?
Oh, 7:45. Thank you very much. Jesus, we're talking so long, I was getting way ahead of
Your
myself.
update wasn't that long.
Well, thank you very much. So moved by Council Lake, second by Council Ingral. We do now adjourn at 7:45. Thank you and have a good evening.